stopstrugglingnow.com. And today I have to talk about, I'm sorry, Cruise on Land is no longer the #1 project in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Why? Well, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to go over some contractual obligations that they have in their pre-construction project contract. And that's right, it's not good news for me, but let me know what you guys think. That's right, I want to hear from real estate investors because you're buying your own real estate. In this case, they're condos so far. That's all they have. Let me know how you feel about these 4 or 5 or 6 little blurbs in their contract. And welcome. Stop struggling now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, please share the videos. This has to do with Punta Cana, Dominican Republic real estate. The formerly known as #1 project is now, well, I don't know. My temper's a little heated. I don't really know where I'm going to place this project, but I do know this. The prices are right, but there's a reason the prices are right, because they're going to be soaking your pockets the whole time you're there as an owner. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. There's several things that I'm not going to like. But first, we're going to go over to the Stop Struggling Now YouTube channel page. And why are we going to do that? That's because, of course, I would love you to share the video, please. You never know who you're trying to help. When we start talking about no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to enter real estate investing, it could be anywhere in the world. Even downtown Miami, you can go check out loftybrickle.com. And then once you do that, you'll contact Sophia if you're interested in that high-end luxury condominium living in downtown Miami. Go check her out. But if you want to get something else that may be below 250,000 or less, lower than 200,000, lower than 150,000, lower than 100,000, then Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, which has the most tourists in the Latin world and rising, breaking all kind of records, this is the place for you. High demand equals price appreciation on your real estate. So let's get into it without further ado. But please notice the join button over on the right hand side. Why? Because you will notice here there's members of the channel. A few are shown, and I appreciate you all members greatly. But under the community tab, you receive special messages, and you are able to receive 1 or 2 videos per month specifically for you under the community tab. You're able to join me on the Wednesday night live streams, and the only ones that can be in the chat room. Monday and Wednesday, everybody can be in the chat room, but on Wednesday, only members with the icon next to their name can be in the chat room. Now, without further ado, I'm going to go over some of the contract. Shall we? For Cruise on Land. This right here is unacceptable in my opinion. We're going to go over several things. So you can let me know down below in the description, would this bother you if you're going to buy at this awesome project with a boatload of amenities. But let me just start off. Those 100 amenities, come to find out, in order to tap into those, you're going to have to pay a monthly payment on top of your HOA. That's just giving you a preview, ladies and gentlemen. We thought it was included in the project. We find out it's not. Now, let's get into the first part. Of course, this is just a contract. I'm leaving anyone's name or whoever this is. It doesn't matter. Everybody has the same contract. I've seen 3 contracts so far. Now, this is the first part about the inflation index. This right here is almost standard issue now with pre-construction projects. There's a lot of projects that have increased the cost 10%, 15%, 18%, could go up to 25% in some instances, or there's no mention at all in a contract, like at Christopher, and then they had 30 or 40% increases and nothing they could do about it. That's why in your contract, you want to make sure you have some clause in there or no clause like Larimar, which is going to move to the number one project slot, which has their in their contract, it says no price increases, which is definitive. This here is a 2.5% ICDV inflation index. So the inflation index for the Dominican Republic, the property could go up above the 2.5%. So in other words, the way I read this and the way the interpretation should be is if let's say inflation is 3% right now, and then let's say inflation goes up 2.5%, we're still fine. But if it goes up to 6% or 7%, now all of a sudden you're going to have to start paying the difference. So that's the way I interpret this. Somebody else can make clarifications on it. But again, that means if inflation does go past 2.5%, your ultimate purchase price is going to rise. It could be 3%, it could be 2%, it could be 5%. But again, that's all based on some statistical number from the ICDV, National Statistics Office. All right, so that's the first thing, which is not really major, but I'm just letting you know everybody pretty much has this. The second thing, there's this thing here, rules of use of the property. Now, they have something called comply with provisions contained in protective regulations. Hereinafter, the regulations, well, guess what? Those protective regulations and what they're going to call afterwards as the regulations, you don't know what those are. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. They're talking about something that does not exist. So later on, when you get ready to buy your property, fund it, or whatever you're going to do on delivery, now all of a sudden you're going to have to find out what this protective regulation is. And oh my, I have my thoughts on what that's going to be, because after you see paragraph 1 here, look at what this reads. Declares and accepts and acknowledges that the building that houses the property object of this contract will have common areas for its use and enjoyment. Common areas for use and enjoyment, which consist of an arrival lobby. This is in your building. Keep that in mind. A reception, bathrooms, common areas, elevators, stairs, living rooms, laundry, snack area, outdoor terrace, pool area, children and adults, sunbathing area, table areas for snacks. That's what you get for your HOA fees. You understand what I'm trying to tell you. Your building and all of these things, because they have pools, they have the children's pool, the adult pool, the cabanas, the loungers, a snack bar, a bar, but it all acknowledges, okay, you have all of that with your HOA, but it also acknowledges that there will be other areas and amenities within the project. Other areas? Wait a minute. You're talking about the sports complex? Are you talking about the man-made beach with the volleyball court and with the cabanas and bar and restaurant that overlooks this man-made beach and the shopping area? And you're talking about the water park? Well, are you talking about the children's playground area, the swinging chairs or the sitting chair area, the yoga area, the boardwalk that you can walk around, the other second man-made lake? That's other areas and amenities. Is that not correct, ladies and gentlemen? Somebody from Cruise on Land, they might want to come on and discuss this matter. So now, my HOAs does not include all these other amenities? Oh my. Consisting of all areas that are not included in the common areas. Oh, they just said it. All areas that are not included in the common areas. So all I have is just like any other project almost any other condo project inside Punta Cana, where I might have a snack bar, I might have a restaurant, I might have a pool, I might have a children's pool, I might have cabanas, I might have lounge chairs, I might have umbrellas, just like every pool area. Okay. But now all these amenities that are in this cruise on land, I'm going to have to pay additional for. Described above, that will be owned by the seller. Guess what, condo owners? The seller owns all the amenities, not you. You don't get no part of it. And that the Los buyer may use and enjoy under the membership regime. Membership regime. Okay, you guys know what this means. This means that you're going to have to pay extra. Now, there is some FOMO. There is some information going on out here that they're saying that it might be $65 per room. So if you have a studio, which is the hotel unit, that's going to be $65 extra on top of your HOAs, which is probably going to be $2 a square meter. Then if you own a 2-bedroom, that means you're going to be paying $130 a month. All right. Some people will start saying, I'll give you what the pros and cons are. 3-bedroom people are going to pay what, $195 plus your HOAs. And remember, your unit is larger as it gets bigger as well. 4 bedrooms, you're going to be paying $270 a month. That is the rumor, except there's one little problem. The $65 is not written in the contract. So you don't know what it's going to be. It could be $100. It could be $150. It could be $200 for that matter. So this to me is an open-ended invitation to just charge you whatever the hell they want. And you know your HOA fees are going to go up, right? So over the course of time, instead of it being $2 a square meter, it could be $2.50 a square meter in 3 years. Or they're deeming, hey, we don't have enough people paying to use the amenities, so we better figure out how to offset this. So instead it'll be $3.50 a square meter. All right. So this is what I think about. Others would say, yeah, it's right. But hey, what is the reason for me buying in the project then if I have to pay a monthly fee to use the amenities? If it's not included in my HOAs, when I can stay at Vista Cana, included in amenities now, when I can stay at, hell, the beach now, which I'll be making a video on, has now said, yes, 4 restaurants they're going to have on site. They're going to have some other amenities that they've added in: pharmacy, mini mart, spa, restaurants, like I said, 4 of them, pool. They're adding in amenities now because, like I told you guys before, they're going to have to upgrade. And guess what? It's going to be included. All right. Let's get on with it because, again, there's projects within Vista Cana. There's projects downtown that has amenities themselves, that has the same amenities these guys have for their, what do you call, common areas for use and enjoyment, which is your pool area, laundry, snack bar, living rooms. Well, laundry, I don't understand, but most places have laundry in their units. But all I'm saying is that little thing that you have as an owner in your building at Cruise on Land is no different than you buying in any other condo project. You have pools, you have a bar, you have a, well, maybe not a bar in all of them, but restaurant and bars are common now, and they're adding water features and things like that all within the complex. So now if you have that, like you do at like a Sabana, like a Panorama Garden, Panorama Park, like what you're going to have at other projects, even downtown, Aurora Luxury, Seven Palms inside Vista Cana, even Primavera Villas and Condo Project has a man-made beach and all that stuff, and amenities, soccer, basketball courts, children's playground, that's included in their HOAs. What is this? Again, make your comments down below. This right here is annoying and surprising and disappointing all in one. Now, let's move along because, again, we're going to go to something else. Remember, some buildings have, one building is going to have they're not furnished units, and then a second building is going to have fully furnished units. Only fully furnished units that receive the furniture package, or any buyers who buys the furniture package, you are the only ones that can be in the rental pool if you choose. You don't have to be in the rental pool, but if you want to be in the rental pool, then you have to have the furniture package. Just keep that in mind. And when you do that, and you want to be in the rental pool, let's go over it paragraph 4, but it's in a different section. I think that's in the 10th stanza, as I call it. Paragraph 4, real estate objects of this contract, who at the time of signing the final purchase contract has acquired the standard furniture of the promoter. That's right, standard furniture of the promoter will be qualified to sign the rental pool contract. That's it. So if you're not buying the furniture package, you can't be in the rental pool. All right, pretty standard for most places. I will say there's nothing wrong with that. The seller, where the unit will be conditioned to a minimum of 2 years for hotel operation under the modality of the condo hotel. You have a 2-year contract. So if you in 2 years do not feel that you're getting the return on what you think you should be getting, return on your investment or rental return, now all of a sudden you want to get out, you, according to this, you won't be getting out. 2 years is a long time, ladies and gentlemen. 2 years? It's, again, nobody knows what the occupancy rate's going to be. All right? We can guess. We can make an educated guess. We don't know for sure. And I damn sure know a lot of people aren't going to be happy if all of a sudden they find out that they bought something for $150,000 and at the end of a year, somebody sends them a $5,000 check. Or during the course of a year, you got $5,000. You'd be like, okay, that was pointless. And you can't get out and say, hey, I'm just going to do this myself. No. But oh my, what happens if you didn't buy the furniture package and you did not want to be in the rental pool, or you did buy the furniture package and do not want to be in the rental pool? Well, guess what? Here's the next thing that I've never seen this before, and I hope this does not become a trend at projects, because this right here is some BS. You are buying a condo, allegedly. And now, because there is a rental pool, they are telling you in this contract, here it is. Okay. Be defined. Cruise on Land will be able to rent your apartment on different virtual platforms, maintaining and respecting the rates offered by rental pool scheme or tourist complex with a maximum variation of 10%. What does this mean? I'll start at the beginning. The buyer of this real estate unit, object of this contract, at the time of signing the final purchase contract, does not opt for the rental program pool and decides to directly or indirectly market the rental of your unit, agrees to comply with the conditions and characteristics described in the protective regulations. Once again, protective regulations they don't provide, that will be defined by the promoter. Again, they can make up crap as they go. A Cruise on Land, in which it will be established that the buyer will be able to rent your apartment on different virtual platforms, maintaining and respecting the rates offered by rental pool scheme. In other words, the rental pool tells you how much you can rent it for. So if the rental pool is doing a 4-bedroom for $200 a month, you can only rent yours out or put yours up for rent for either $220 down to $180. So you have 180 to 220. So everybody will be within that ballpark when you are renting your unit. So therefore, if your unit is designed differently than others and even better than the hotel unit, all you can do is charge 10% over. And if your unit is still nice, but you just want to get more rents, the lowest you can go is 180. How do you own a condominium in a project who's going to tell you how much you can rent your unit for as an owner? You're charging me HOA fees. You're charging me to pay for amenities. How the hell are you going to tell me how much I can rent it for if I'm renting it out? I own my unit. Again, this is why I get a little heated, because I'm a capitalist. This should not be in anybody's contract. If you're going to buy condominiums or villas, no HOA, no management company should be scouring the internet trying to find out how much their owners of other units are renting their units for. This means to me, somebody's going to be checking in. They're going to be asking them, hello, welcome to Cruise on Land. Oh, I see you have unit 225 in building 2. Well, they're not in our rental pool. How much did you rent this for? Excuse me? Who did you rent this from? How did you rent this? Because, of course, they need to know the platform that you're selling on. So they're going to have to ask these people, wait, where did they do this? And, of course, they're going to say, oh, the operating company of the complex will have audit mechanisms to verify compliance with hotel rules. How are you going to have audit mechanisms? Really? You're not going to have come on, stop this. I could have a website out here. You can look at my website. I can charge whatever I want. Maybe you don't even know about the website. Maybe I'm in a group that's a closed group on Facebook or anywhere else on the internet, a forum or whatever, and I'm renting my stuff out. You're not going to be able to find that. So the only thing that's going to happen is my guests are checking in and they're going to start asking them, where did you rent from? How much was it? Let me see the paperwork. Oh, how do I know? Because in timeshare business, this happens. That's right. I've seen this play before. So therefore, again, you don't own jack crap. And when you show up and your guests show up, they are going to be subject to interrogation. Because they're going to have to figure out, wait, did this guy charge more than 10%? Did he charge less than 10%? So that's the only way they're going to be able to find out. Now, we're going to keep going. Let me know what you guys think down below. And if that's not enough, how about this, ladies and gentlemen? So you're proud of yourself. You bought a condominium. Oh no, you bought 2 of them. Maybe you bought 3 of them in the same complex. But you did buy one. And all of a sudden you get down here to paragraph 5 in the 10th stanza. And you go, hey, you know what? My property's worth twice as much as it's worth. I want to sell it. Well, guess what happens? This isn't so bad. Guess what? Cruise on Land wants right of first refusal. Oh my. Let's get into it. The object of this contract that at the time of signing the final purchase contract does not opt for rental program. And did I miss it? I missed it. Hold on a second. Let me see if I got the right of first refusal somewhere on here. I started moving the screen, so I'm not sure if I have it. So I have to go down to this here. Let me see if I have it. Yes, here we go. I was on the wrong page. Paragraph 1. In the 13th stanza, the preemptive right stipulated herein in favor of the seller, which is Cruise on Land, must be exercised by it within a period of not exceeding 60 days. So again, buyer grants in favor of the seller. So here we go. 13th stanza. Right of preference and no objection by the seller. Buyer grants in favor of the seller a preemptive right to opt for the purchase of the property of this contract. Therefore, in the event the buyer, after acquiring ownership of the property, decides to sell it, he agrees to make the first offer to the seller over any other person to acquire the property. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, now they're telling me I have to give them right of first refusal. Somebody would say, oh, Eric, they're just trying to maintain the property and make sure nobody sells it. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't really care. What are they doing, having their hands in what the sale price is going to be? If somebody sits there and let's say what we're going to talk about here, how does a timeshare keep getting their properties back? Because when people decide that they don't want to pay anymore, they do a foreclosure, they get the properties back, then they sell to somebody else. So how do you block people from being able to sell their property? Well, first of all, you do something like this. I am going to be the first buyer that you come to. I have a buyer already. I don't need you, HOA. I don't need you. I have somebody that's willing to buy it for the price that I'm sending to you. So what do I need you for? Here's what you need me for, as the HOA says. Because of paragraph 1, the preemptive right stipulated here in favor of the seller must be exercised by it within a period not exceeding 60 days. We've seen this before. 60 days is 2 months. I have a buyer here that's saying, Eric, I'm going to give you $250,000 for a unit that you bought for $100,000. You're sitting there going, great. And the guy's like, I'm going to close within 2 weeks because I got all cash. All of a sudden, You're like, I'm sorry, I can't, I got to submit this to the HOA. HOA can take up to 60 days. Oh, believe me, ladies and gentlemen, it has come up before. HOAs will take up to 60 days, and on the 60th day, you will not hear from them. And the thing that you're going to say is, hey, what's going on? And then they're going to say, oh, I'm sorry, we're delayed. Well, somebody will be in touch with you in 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, 2 months go by. That guy has cash. He can buy from anybody in the area in that 60 days while you're waiting. That's 2 months. Now, that's what's happened in the past. I've been down these paths before. So, this is why I'm adamant against all of this. Now, at the end of 60 days, the buyer's still there, let's say. Guess what else is going to happen? Because not only did they hold off the buying of it for 60 days potentially if they don't buy it, but here's the other part. This is crazy. In the event that the seller does not exercise the preemptive right granted to it, the buyer must obligatorily request the non-objection of the seller through written communications, informing them of the name, identity document, and address of the potential acquirer to purify that he does not have situations that conflict with the law, whether personal or reputational, financial or origin of funds, which is considered a sin, I don't know what that is, or mandatory condition. Without the buyer will not be able to formalize any act of sale with third parties. Excuse me, I have cash. You don't need to verify my funds. I also have a loan, let's say. They've already verified my funds. You don't have no reason to try to verify jack crap. So now you're going to have a department that's going to be verifying people's information as well now? Oh man, what do you guys think these HOAs are going to be? These guys are monitoring a hell of a lot of stuff, and they need some people to monitor the amenities there. You know, the 100 amenities they have that you're going to be paying for. They're going to have somebody monitoring wristbands or something. They're going to have people monitoring who can go in certain areas and who can't. But right now it's pretty easy because either you check in at one place and you're staying in your building area, which is weird, or you're paying for amenities. I don't get it. But anyhow, these are problems. Let me know what you guys think down below. Right of first refusal? Vetting my buyer now? Are you serious? Ladies and gentlemen, this is outrageous. Now, let's get down to the last clause of all. Non-compliance clause on the 15th stanza. I'm not going to get into this. This is non-compliance without prejudice to what is established above regarding non-payment. We know about non-payment. But here's what I want you to understand. Here's the funny part. See, after you done paid off, after you got your delivery, after you got your loan in place, after you've paid off your unit, whatever you decide to do, if you cashed out, paid in full cash, or you're getting a loan, you're now sitting there at the table that you've got your loan funded. You're sitting at the table and they say, oh, by the way, I have something called a definitive purchase contract that I need you to sign. The refusal without just cause to approve or sign the definitive purchase contract in accordance with the mechanism established in this contract. Okay, I think it's time you to give me the definitive purchase contract before I get into this. I mean, failure to pay and all parts agreed, everybody generally understands, okay, there's repercussions for that. Failure to deliver the required documents and the seller must deliver at the time of closing as described in this contract. We need to know what these required documents are right now before we buy. We need to know what you're talking about with this definitive purchase contract right now before you send your money in and down payments in and all that for the next 2 years, 2.5, 3 years. We need all that now. So after you went through all of everything, making your down payments, add monthly payments or quarterly payments or annual payments, however you set it up, and now you then went down and got the funding, and now you're ready to roll, they break out something called a definitive purchase contract. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I do not call this friendly. So needless to say, I have a problem with this. Let me know what you guys think. And now you know why I don't know what to say about this project. I've been touting it as the #1 project in Punta Cana. Now it's not even going to be anywhere near with all these rules and regulations. I defy anybody. Let me know. Is there another project out here doing this crazy nonsense? Is this going to be a trend? Hell no, it's not going to be a trend, because a lot of people are going to be upset, and a lot of projects are not built to be amusement parks. A lot of projects aren't built to block their owners from being able to use the amenities that are on site. Now, with all that said, you know I'm waiting for answers on this. Your answers, because it's in contract form. This is their answer already. And how many of you who are out here who have bought Cruise on Land realized what they have in your contract? And with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, but there's one thing that you have to do. Do your due diligence. Always study. Some of you have bought it Cruise on Land. Did you read your contract in full? But I know they had it under Spanish rules. Did you have your lawyer look at it? Please double check. Use Google Translate, even if it's in Spanish or any other language. Always use Google Translate to at least get it into the format of your language that you're familiar with. And again, at this rate, I'm feeling even worse now, because again, I'm sorry that I was recommending this as the #1 project, because there's 100 amenities we thought were included, and we also thought it was just going to be $65 a month, which we thought was reasonable, but kind of like, what the heck? Why don't you just put in an HOA? But now we find out they have a whole marketing scheme around those amenities. The amenities are separate than ownership, which means they have a vested interest in making sure that they always make the most money from all those 100 plus amenities. So they can add as many amenities as they want, because the condo owners have no way to use it unless you're going to be paying extra. And that's all there is to it. Some people would say $130 a month, Eric. $65 a month. Okay, we don't know that. Again, you don't know what you're going to be paying. Right now, they can say whatever they want. There's no contract saying this is what it's going to be when you sign it. And even after they said it's going to be that, 6 months later or a year later, they can change that rate. It's always going to be subject to change. It's not going to be in stone. Cost of operations is going to go up. And by the way, the operation cost on an amusement park, ladies and gentlemen, do your homework. All right? So, with all that said, I know it's hard out here, but there's going to be other projects. Larimar, Vista Cana. Go see Nestor. His information's down below if you want to do anything at Vista Cana, especially Sabana. That is one of the greatest projects that's coming up. The owners live there. Now, you guys know I love panoramas, because they all have clubhouses. Seven Palms, everybody has upgraded. Seven Palms, go see Brian. His information is down below. It's across from the second beach, the second man-made beach, which is larger than the first man-made beach. And they even have a clubhouse with a cafe, bar, pool, fitness center. So again, and then they still have all the amenities inside Vista Cana that owners have to use, and they pay their HOAs. They're not going to have to pay an amenities fee. So again, Cruise on Land, out from #1, out from #2, out from #3, out from #4, out from #5. Hell, if we're going to be paying for amenities, then I can be staying at Cana Rock. I could be staying anywhere if I'm going to be paying for amenities. And like I said, nobody knows how much it's going to be. Let me know what you guys think down below, all right? I'm disgusted by this contract. I'm disgusted from what I found out. And this is terrible. So again, I apologize greatly. For 6 months, I've been talking about Cruise on Land as the #1A, #1B, matched up with Larimar. Larimar now is definitively #1. None of this crap is in their contracts. So with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.